Good evening, and welcome to Markham's 2017 report, A Year in Review. My name is Andy Taylor, and I'm the Chief Administrative Officer here at the City of Markham. Give you a little intro what tonight is all about. Our report tonight will focus on the city's achievements related to our strategic plan. And the strategic plan is building Markham's future together. And we did this as a blueprint for how Markham Council and senior staff make decisions about the city's future while ensuring its ongoing success. This plan, BMFT, guides our actions through to 2019. Markham's motto, leading while remembering, will be a constant theme in tonight's speech by Mayor Scarpitti as he revisits key accomplishments of the council term from 2015 till today. 2017 was a very productive year, filled with many accomplishments, which will be highlighted tonight by the mayor. And after the mayor's presentation, please join us again in the Great Hall for more reception and more information in the fair and the booths you saw out there, to learn more about the initiatives Markham is undertaking. Now, before I introduce Mayor Scarpitti, I'd just like to introduce Lars Henriksson, the Honorary Consul General for the Consulate of Sweden. Lars, where are you? There you are. Welcome. So it's my pleasure now to introduce Mayor Frank Scarpitti. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you very much. I actually thought I sent him a bit longer introduction than that, so I must have got lost in transition. I just want to say thank you to all of you for coming out tonight. This was planned some time ago, and I have to say we didn't know it was going to be on a key playoff night in hockey, so I want to say thanks to all of you for not selling your tickets to someone else, and you actually showed up. But I always view this opportunity, as Andy said, it's a chance to look back at certainly over the last year and the previous years, just to get that sense of accomplishment that we've all worked on together. So it really is, I think, a great opportunity for all of us to come together as a community, to engage once again. And I always like these opportunities because I think we can always learn from each other. As good as we are, we can always be better. And I think it's through presentation, through updates, and through listening to each other that we learn. And I have to say, as public servants, whether we're members of council, whether it's staff, I just think we're better equipped when we have input and suggestions and feedback from all of you. It's very important for us. And I want to assure you that your collective voice matters to us. And I know from time to time, maybe as individuals, whether it's in a personal meeting, whether it's at a committee meeting or a council meeting, there may be this frustration that you're not listening to me. But I think even in your own circle, whether it's your family, your businesses, your own community organizations, I think it's very important to say that no one dominates the conversation. And we know that in a family, while some members may try, it's important that we listen to everyone and that everyone feels a part of that family. So civic engagement is vital to us, and I believe very strongly that it truly is at the heart of creating communities and a great quality of life for the residents of Markham. As much as I'm up here tonight kind of reviewing at a very high level some of the accomplishments, I do want to say, as I often do, it is a team effort. For what we are able to accomplish, it's certainly because of our council, our very professional staff, our community, and I have to say, many of our partners as well. And our partners can include community organizations within our own community, other levels of government, government agencies, and in fact, sometimes even our surrounding communities and neighbors. We do nothing alone, and if we achieve success, it's because we've been able to develop those relationships and use the expertise, the skill set, and the knowledge that exists within our community. So I'd like to take a moment to really tip my hat to my colleagues, the members of Markham Council, because collectively, whether it's sometimes a look, sometimes a discussion, or all-out debate, when we arrive at a decision, we arrive at that decision together. And so I compliment them for everything that they've done and continue to do to ensure that we stick to our strategic plan. Obviously, you know, a ship may veer a little right or veer a little left, may slow down once in a while, and it may speed up once in a while, but we know what direction we're going in. And so thank you to members of council. I want to acknowledge them. We have Deputy Mayor Jack Heath, who is here tonight. Thank you, Jack, for being here. Regional Councillor Jim Jones, who's also here. Welcome, Jim. Regional Councillor Joe Lee, who's here. Welcome, Joe. Regional Councillor Nirmala Armstrong, who's also here. And I know that there's a lot going on tonight. I'd like to believe that some of the members of council are attending other meetings and not watching the Leaf game, but they may be popping in from time to time. So while they're not here, I do want to mention all members of council. And because again, as I said, it's a team effort. So Ward 1 Councillor Valerie Burke, who's also a part of our team. Ward 2 Councillor Alan Ho, who's here. Welcome, Alan. Thank you very much for being here. Ward 3 Councillor Don Hamilton, who's also here. Ward 4 Councillor Karen Ray is part of our team. Ward 5 Councillor Colin Campbell. Ward 6 Councillor Amanda Colucci. Ward 7 Councillor Logan Kanapathy, who's here. Welcome, Logan. And Ward 8 Councillor Alex Chu, who's also here. Welcome, Alex. I often say too, and anyone that's heard this part of my speech before, I don't mind being repetitive on it. We are government, and we don't make a profit at the end of the year. But I have to say, I believe our organization is as entrepreneurial, nimble, and as professional as any private sector organization out there. So I take great pride in that. It's a culture that has been developed here in the city of Markham. And I want to say that the person at the top, at a staff level, has a lot to do with that. And here in the city, we use technology. Again, we leverage partnerships, and we do listen to the staff who in each of the departments have that hands-on experience to be able to relay information to the rest of the organization as to how we can always do things better and hopefully reduce taxes or the tax burden for our residents and businesses. And so while he was up here, I do want to acknowledge him once again and thank him very much for his leadership as the Chief Administrative Officer of this organization, Andy Taylor. So Andy, thank you very much for the great work. Now I think Andy would admit he doesn't do it alone either. And he's got a very capable senior staff that works with him certainly more closely on a day-to-day basis. And I want to thank them. And you know, I chuckle a little bit because as a society, I think we always have to do more. But we actually achieved gender equality quite a number of years ago. And I want to say I'm very proud of the team that we have, both the mix and the diversity of knowledge and skill set that comes to our table. Our Commissioner of Community Services, really who looks after everything from the sewers to the art galleries and everything in between when it comes to infrastructure. Sorry to put it that way, but it's a lot that we do, and our recreational centers. But our Commissioner of Community Services, Brenda Lebrex, I thank you for your service. And assure that we've got a good financial plan and the money's put in the right accounts, and also that we have a strategy moving forward, and that we have IT that works so well. to serve our customers, and everything from the agendas to the bylaws and everything else in between. We rely on our Corporate Commissioner, Trinella Kane, who's here, Corporate Services. And we have just filled a position that became vacant. Jim Baird just recently retired from our organization, who was the Commissioner of Development Services. And while we've been on a search for a replacement, again, our very capable staff just jumped into that role. And I don't know if Jim would be happy or not, but it seemed like we didn't miss a beat after he left. I don't know what that says. I think it says more about the fact of how capable our staff is. And I do want to acknowledge our acting Commissioner of Development Services, Brian Lee, who's also here tonight. So Brian. And I'm not sure if he was able to make it, but that role has actually been shared over the past several months. And he's permanently our Director of Planning, but again, it was a role that both these gentlemen filled in for, Bijou Karambanchari. So Bijou, thank you very much to you. And where would we be without lawyers? This is not a joke, okay? It's a real question, and we're very proud of the legal team that we have here. And again, someone that we rely on, because as you can appreciate in an organization like ours, there's a lot of legalities to consider. And we get very good advice from our city solicitor, Catherine Conrad. So Catherine, thank you to you. Now I could go on with some other staff, but I just want to mention two other staff because they're actually embodied in the Municipal Act. I guess we could get rid of Andy and the rest of you anytime, but these two are entrenched in the Municipal Act. And again, we are well served. I call them the walking encyclopedia, but our treasurer, Joel Lustig, is also here. Joel, thank you for your years of service. And also to our clerk, again, who has to ensure that not only do we have proper agendas and proper notification for meetings and making sure that the corporate minutes are kept and the ability to go back. Sometimes it seems like a lifetime when something's a few months ago, but actually the reality is we have to go back several years sometimes, and there's a lot of provincial legislation that she ensures we adhere to and adhere to properly. Our clerk, Kimberly Kitteringham. So thank you, Kimberly. So I was wound up just prior to coming on, and now we're going to go. And really, truly, this is an update on our strategic plan called Building Markham's Future Together, and really how that plan has guided and led us to the major accomplishments, not only this past year, but over the past few years. And the plan calls on four key strategic areas: exceptional services by exceptional people, engaged, diverse, and thriving city, safe and sustainable community, and the stewardship of money and resources. And I'm going to touch on each of these areas and to really kind of relate what we've achieved back to these four key areas of our strategic plan. Well, there's no doubt, I think we all know now, we live in a digital world. And our digital strategy leverages emerging technologies. And in a few years, our council envisions a frictionless city with seamlessly accessible and integrated services. I'm very proud of the fact that we are making progress and towards that goal. But I have to say, we also try to stay ahead of the curve, trying to be a smart city with what's available with us today. And we definitely have a plan of how we're going to improve that access for all of our customers, whether they're residents or businesses. Now, we know that in order to deliver the best service for residents, we need to make it easy and convenient for you, no matter what you do, no matter what your interests, to interact with our organization. That truly is where our digital strategy is going. But as a municipality, I can tell you that I'm very proud of the fact that today we have more than 85 online services and business tools, Everything from knowing where your snowplow is to paying your property taxes through e-billing. We were the first municipality to offer online voting. And now, this year, we are the largest municipality in Ontario to offer that service right up until voting day. This is the first time. It was always used prior in the advance polls, and now you're going to be able to walk in or vote from wherever you are. So you don't need to wait in line anymore, and truly you can vote from the comfort of your own home or office or a beach somewhere, wherever it is, using a tablet, a smartphone, and as I said, you'll be able to do that from the day that we have advance polling right up until Election Day on October the 22nd. So truly, we've embraced technology for our democratic process. Now, I have to tell you, when it comes to the federal government's Smart Cities Challenge, we're all in. And I want to thank many of you that are in this room and others that couldn't be here tonight for the way that you jumped on board, because we had to react rather quickly. You know, sometimes we hear about these programs and wait and wait and wait, and then finally we get how the program's going to work, and guess what? We have very little time to respond. But I really say thank you to all of you that came to our open sessions, because it was through your input, your desires, again, collectively, a collective voice, that we came up with some fantastic ideas for the Smart Cities Challenge, and we hope to come out after April the 25th and give you an update of where things stand. So our city continues to see tremendous economic growth in our community, and we're also ensuring that our communities, as that economic growth happens, are being strengthened. And I have to say that we're extremely proud as a council and as an organization that in less than 10 years, we've been able to open 2 major community centers and a world-class sports facility that is second to none. That's something that has never, ever happened in the history of Markham. And I thank the previous council and this council and our staff for making it happen. Now, I want to start with the brand new Ani Community Center and Library. This design was truly inspired by the diversity of Milliken and truly is the product of extensive public engagement. It is an impressive, state-of-the-art facility that offers an extensive list of programs and services. A triple gymnasium, a teaching kitchen, an indoor playground, a multi-sensory room for kids with autism and individuals with dementia, a maker space and studio in the library, and that's just to name a few. As much as we're going to have a grand opening later this year, don't wait till then to walk through the doors of the Ani Community Center, get down there, begin to enjoy this incredible facility. So the Ani Community Center is a point of pride for all of us. It is the place for us to enjoy, every one of us to enjoy and use. And there truly is a lot of buzz around it, and with some actually admitting that they're jealous of Markham. And they should be. It's a stunning facility, and we do invite others to certainly come and visit and take some of the community center in. Now, appropriately named Ani, Ani means hello or welcome in Ojibwe. And truly, it's in recognition of Canada's Indigenous people, those who first inhabited the lands that we now know as Markham. And this also, I think, honors our very meaningful partnership with Yabatum First Nation. Last year, we signed a historic accord with the remote Northern Ontario community. And this partnership promotes social, cultural, and economic collaboration. And to date, I have to say, we are very proud of the fact that through various initiatives, the city of Markham has already raised over $100,000 for this community. And we've also been able to donate sports equipment through the Give a Kid a Chance program, and we donated a Zamboni. Our community center, our next community center, is located just east, on the east edge of the Markham Stouffville Hospital, the Cornell Community Center. Again, as much as this one may have been around for the last few years, in some respect, it's still the best kept secret for many residents. And I often say to people, if you haven't been over there, get over there. This facility is the recreational facility, and again, an outstanding library. And for those of you that haven't been in, it actually has the largest aquatic center in one of our community centers. That's aside from the Pan Am. But when it comes to community centers, it's got the largest aquatic center. A therapy pool, again, a multi-sensory room, and a unique partnership with Markham Stouffville Hospital, because it's not only on the eastern edge of that hospital, but it's physically linked to the hospital, and it really has allowed some tremendous collaboration and an opportunity for us to engage in programs. And this is one that we're very proud of, the Breathe Better program. And this is how healthcare is improved by reaching out into the community.
My dad is living with me, and before he started this program, he was very easily short of breath. He couldn't walk long distances. He was also afraid to do it. So when he started here, first day, he did a short distance walking. He wanted to rest a bit. And then gradually, after a few weeks, he followed the others. With the whole group, he tried to take their example. It encouraged him, it gave him some motivation, and it made him also stronger. So now his short of breath is gone away, he's walking long distances, he's much happier.
It's a program that we have with the partnership of the City of Markham based at the Cornell Community Center in the fitness center. It's a program for patients with COPD primarily, but we also see patients with all sorts of chronic respiratory diseases. This is the only a hospital that, as far as I know, in Ontario and across Canada that has a partnership with the city working out of a community center.
Next is the legacy building from our 2015 Pan Am, the Markham Pan Am Center. It truly has put the city of Markham on the global map and has become a global sports destination, hosting international and national competitions, including the Women's World Cup Table Tennis that was held there last year, and also the World Dodgeball Championships. And we're now set to host the World Juniors Badminton Championships this fall. And next year, in 2019, the Markham Pan Am Center will be the host to the National Water Polo Competition. So some pretty exciting activities that happen there in terms of the events that come there, and you'd be hard-pressed to try and book a weekend at the Markham Pan Am Center. It's being that well used. So as we continue to grow, we continue to take pride in establishing heritage districts and celebrating our history. And last year, we celebrated our country's 150th birthday, and we did it big, including our very successful Markham Expo 150. And during Expo 150, we opened Bursey Square, commemorating one of Markham's founding fathers, William Bursey, who's a big part of our city's history and our story. And just in case you don't know where that is, at the southeast corner of Kennedy and 16th, and once the northeast corner of Kennedy and 16th. And as soon as the good weather arrives, I encourage you just to take a stroll up there. It's quite a beautiful place. The Canada 150 Community Infrastructure Grants is also provided for some legacy projects in the city of Markham. Our heroes, our veterans, can truly be proud of Veterans Square and the new cenotaph in historic Markham Village. It's a place for all Canadians to reflect and remember, and also where they can honor those who served and fought valiantly for our freedom. We've also enhanced one of the busiest gateways into Markham at Markham Road and Steeles Avenue. Larger-than-life LED letters will welcome visitors and residents alike. Trust me, everyone will know when they've arrived at the city of Markham. And I have to say, they can also enjoy John Daniels Park, an incredible enhanced park, and one that will be opening in mid-June. Phase 2 of the Stiver Mill in Unionville includes an environmentally friendly parking lot on the west side of the property, and it also provides for an extension of the boardwalk connecting Eureka to Main Street, Unionville. And the next time you visit the Thornhill Community Center, you'll be welcomed by a new statue honoring Benjamin Thorn. He's the founder of Thornhill, and he's flanked by an enjoyable landscaped area. Again, quite an enhancement, and again, celebrating the great history in our community. Now, while we celebrate history, there's a lot of new things that are happening too, and we continue to attract major investments to Markham, including the new GM Canadian Technical Center, which will create more than 700 software engineering jobs. So why was Markham chosen? Let's hear directly from GM.
What I want to do today is talk a little bit about how we landed at Markham. And we deliberately selected this site in Canada because of its clear capacity for innovation, proven talent, strong innovation, great universities, startups, and innovative partners.
I really think that this will build on Markham's stellar reputation as an innovation hub. And truly, I believe Markham is a key player in Ontario's innovation corridor. We punch above our weight, and as you can see on the map, we outperform the Kitchener-Waterloo region. We have one of the most diverse, skilled, and educated workforces in the country. Over 60% of the people that call Markham home have a post-secondary education. Those numbers will only get better with the much anticipated opening of the new campus for York University, and it's located right next to the Pan Am Center. The university campus will open in 2021 and will be home to 4,000 students, which will eventually grow to 10,000. And the campus really fits well with the vision that we have for Markham Center. And I have to say, as excited as I was when we heard that we did get York University, never in my wildest dreams did I'd ever think they would create such a beautiful and iconic building. It's going to be quite something right at the corner, right west of the Pan Am Center. A beautiful, beautiful building. So as you saw, transportation also is a priority for us in the city of Markham. And in 2017 alone, Markham completed close to 40 kilometers of road rehabilitation. And we've also, through some of the data that we've put together, along with, I believe, Waterloo University, we truly have some of the best roads, the conditions of those roads in all of the GTA. And I have to say that our council and staff have taken bold steps to help fight climate change and reduce our carbon footprint in our community. We recently unveiled the Electra Drive for the Workplace pilot project. It's an innovative EV charging station program located right here at the city of Markham, and when you leave tonight, you'll see them in the northwest part of the property with the little lights there. It's always fascinating to see how many cars are hooked up. But really, this is the first of its kind in all of Canada. It's a fully integrated end-to-end system, and it will test the impact of daytime charging on Ontario's electricity grid and support the province's goal of increasing electric vehicle sales by 5% by the year 2020. The charging stations are powered by Aviva Insurance, located here in Markham, who have generously covered the cost of electricity. Now, we have set a very ambitious goal of being a net zero community by 2050. And I'm very proud to say that the City of Markham has one of the largest municipally hosted rooftop solar portfolios in the whole province of Ontario. What's great for the province is it produces 1.83 megawatts on 9 buildings. What's great for us in the City of Markham and taxpayers, it produces about $300,000 worth of annual income. And it produces enough power to power 245 average size homes. So it's quite impressive. We've also been able to convert more than 12,000 streetlights to LED, creating less of a burden on our tax bill and better visibility for commuters. And hopefully you've noticed the difference on those streets where those LED lights have been installed. When you combine everything that we do, and that's just a very high level, but when you combine everything that we've done as an organization and as a community, we've been able to reduce our greenhouse gas intensity by 6.9%. That's like taking 110 cars off the road permanently. And we're very proud that we have planted more than 385,000 trees in our community, thanks to schools, to community groups, to our businesses who lend us their employees to go out and plant these trees. You know, that's a tree, more than 1 tree per resident in the City of Markham. And I think you really should give yourselves a round of applause because it's an outstanding achievement. And there's another area that you don't have to, but clap for yourself, feel proud, because as a community, we've been able to achieve over 80% in our waste diversion. That's the highest in the country. And a big part of that success is because of you, because of what you do every week. Our residents who have embraced our green initiatives have liked everything that we've done and continue to ask for more. And so they like our new textile recycling program. We are the first jurisdiction in Canada to ban textiles from our curbside collection. And now it serves as a model for other communities to learn from. And I have to say, there's a lot of interest in our overall recycling program, but in particular, our textile recycling program. And all the guys have been able to get rid of their t-shirts that they've kept far too long. But anyways, we've made significant progress as well on our flood protection program. And for those of you that aren't as familiar with this, again, I think we've shown tremendous leadership as a community. It's a 30-year program, $234 million program, which demonstrates our commitment to protecting the natural environment and building a safe and sustainable community. In Thornhill alone, an estimated 850 homes now have greater flood protection than when we first started this program. The Don Mills Channel Flood Control Facility near Woodbine and Steeles is planned for construction by 2022. And this will be reducing the flood risk to all of those commercial properties in that area. It's important for them as well, because if you can't conduct business, we can't have economic prosperity. And I'm very proud of the fact that our council and the fact that actually our staff were able to advance studies that are going to be required to improve flood protection in Markham Village and in Unionville Village. We've also made available a home plumbing protection rebate program, and certainly anyone here that's interested, we can give you some information outside. And this provides some financial assistance to those who take their own steps to reduce basement flooding risks in their properties. Markham has been leading the charge on upgrading safety along the goal line in the east part of Markham. Our goal is to eventually stop those annoying horns from blowing all along those crossings as they pass through our community, impacting our residents. Making our community green is good for the environment, and it's also good for your health. And recently, we opened another section of the Rouge Valley Trail. To date, we've completed 6.8 kilometers of trail and have opened up 7 pedestrian bridges. Once completed, the trail will cover 15 kilometers, all the way from Kennedy and 16th Avenue south to Bob Hunter Park, with a total of 12 pedestrian bridges. We've officially completed the 5-year Emerald Ash Borer Initiative. I can tell you, our staff is as happy as you are about that, because it meant, unfortunately, removing 17,000 trees in our community, and each one of those are being replaced. Which brings me to what I feel is one of the most, well, the biggest responsibilities that we have as public servants, and that is the stewardship of money, your money, and resources. And council and staff have a duty to deliver exceptional services in our community for your tax dollars. We've managed to maintain the lowest tax rate increase in the GTA over the last 10 years, and that's just a comparison that you can see on the chart. It'll be in your tax bill when you get it too. This year's budget saw cost savings of $1.3 million through the continuation of excellence through efficiency and effectiveness program. Every year, our staff examine their budgets, their work plans, and determine how we can save money and deliver better services. And I have to say, I'm very proud of the fact that the city of Markham is one of few, very few, municipalities who plan way into the future. We are continually investing in our reserves, ensuring that we can repair and replace city assets for the next 25 years. There's not too many municipalities that think beyond the term of council, and I'm proud that our councils over the past number of years have continually to look forward to ensure that we continue to put enough money away so that when we do have to repair and replace an asset, the money will be there. Now, we have much to celebrate tonight, and while we're celebrating, I would be remiss if I didn't mention our Clarkson Cup champions, the Markham Thunder. This team has shown true grit, heart, and has impressed us all in their inaugural season as Markham's powerhouse women's hockey team. Incredible that they won the Clarkson Cup, and we're very, very proud of them. I think what they demonstrate is something that's true about Markham. We're very strong as a community. Our spirit is strong. And I think we demonstrated that once again last night when we came together to stand together. And we stand together in solidarity with Humboldt. And once again, I want to say on behalf of our hockey family, our sports community, our entire community, I want to express our sincerest condolences to Humboldt, to the victims, to the families of the victims, and to the survivors. It was, I think, an amazing experience last night, not only in supporting Humboldt, but supporting those that are involved in hockey and have shared many of the experiences that other hockey organizations have experienced across the country. So, we're on the right track, and we are charging ahead towards what I think is a pretty exciting and prosperous future. And I want to say once again, a big thank you to all of you. Tonight, gives you a chance to see how all of us have worked together. Individuals who've come forward to give of their time, advisory committees that we have as a city that meet almost on a monthly basis, having input to programs and services, to our partners in the community, to the many organizations that continue to organize festivals and events in our community. All of you have made an incredible contribution and are making a difference in creating a community that we can all be proud of to call home.
Building Markham's future together is our city's strategic plan and is the blueprint for how council and senior staff will make thoughtful decisions about Markham's future in order to ensure its continued success. Our award-winning strategic plan consists of 4 goals that will guide Markham's economic and community development through to 2019. Let's take a look at some of our achievements from this past year. It is with great pride that the City of Markham celebrated Ontario's and Canada's 150th birthdays in 2017. We showed our pride throughout the year by hosting exciting events and activities for all members of the community and visitors to enjoy. In honor of Canada 150, we also invested in 4 legacy infrastructure projects that will have lasting positive effects on our community. In Markham, we are proud of our employees and the innovative services they deliver, and we are always looking for opportunities to improve. In our strategic plan, one of our 4 goals is exceptional services by exceptional people. Our management systems will empower and inspire our employees to be champions of excellence. Here's how we're reaching this goal. In 2017, the City of Markham launched e-billing, allowing residents and business owners to receive and pay their property tax bills online. This allows users to pay anywhere, anytime, while helping reduce the city's carbon footprint and stabilizing postage costs. We also launched ePlan, a new easy-to-use system offering paperless drawing submission, review, and approvals for site plan applications and building permits. Since opening its doors, the Markham Pan Am Centre continues to be a leading sport event destination in Canada, hosting elite competitions. In 2017, 110 sport events were hosted, including World Dodgeball Federation's World Dodgeball Championship, Panda Cup International Table Tennis Tournament, and International Table Tennis Federation's Women's Table Tennis World Cup. Markham is proud to be Canada's most diverse city. In our strategic plan, one of our 4 goals is to continue strengthening our community by fostering and embracing an engaged, diverse, and thriving city, where a strong economy and a livable, caring, and interconnected community is our focus. Here's how we're reaching this goal. In 2017, Markham Public Library launched the city's first toy library, lending educational toys to support children's school readiness and early literacy development at home. Markham's award-winning libraries also launched the online 3D printer e-learning certification course, the first of its kind in North America public libraries. Older adults are Markham's fastest growing population. The city recently developed an older adult strategy to help them stay active, healthy, and engaged in our community. We are committed to building an age-friendly community that ensures our residents have access to opportunities and services that increase their quality of life. In 2017, the city celebrated the 20th anniversary of the Varley Art Gallery of Markham. This included the Rouge, Varley Gala, an evening celebrating Canadian art, featuring renowned Canadian musician Jim Cuddy, live and silent auctions, raffles, and more, all benefiting arts and culture in the community. In our strategic plan, one of our 4 goals is to create and maintain a safe and sustainable community. We will protect the public, and we will respect the natural environments through excellence in sustainable planning, infrastructure management, and specialized programs. Here's how we're reaching this goal. As a growing community, Markham still has lands reserved for future development. Markham is home to over 350,000 people and will grow by another 40,000 people by 2031. Growth will happen in North Markham and will be a state-of-the-art, smart, sustainable community. Markham also continues to create new public spaces for residents to enjoy. Last year, we opened 14 parks across the city of Markham, totaling over 24 acres, which is the equivalent of over 17 football fields. In 2017, we continued to invest in our road network, getting you where you need to be. This included the maintenance of 39 kilometers of roads, 26 kilometers of pavement preservation, and 13 kilometers of road rehabilitation. Markham has a strong tradition of respecting the taxpayer's dollar. In our strategic plan, one of our 4 goals is to ensure stewardship of money and resources. The city will demonstrate sound, transparent, and responsible financial management while ensuring efficient and effective service delivery to residents and businesses. Here's how we're reaching this goal. Markham's 9-year cumulative tax rate increase of 13.89% is the lowest among 27 municipalities in the GTA, while maintaining existing service levels. This translates into an average annual tax rate increase of 1.54% per year. Life Cycle Reserve. The City of Markham also continues to be a leader in fiscal management. We've ensured there are sufficient funds in the Life Cycle Reserve for the next 25 years to replace infrastructure as it's needed. The city also received provincial and federal clean water and wastewater fund grants totaling $14.2 million for water main rehabilitation and the implementation of the West Thornhill Phase 2B flood control program. In 2017, the City of Markham received 5 awards for its outstanding accomplishments in sustainability and finance. Hand in hand, our elected officials and city staff continue to make Markham a model for other communities to follow by producing excellent results. To learn more about Markham's 4-year strategic plan, visit markham.ca/strategic plan.
So just before we let you go, we thought we'd introduce an element that we hadn't done before, and don't put up the first question yet. We reached out through social media to ask our residents and businesses if they had a question to ask, and the first one I'm going to paraphrase because I think it remains the top issue for many residents and businesses, and I'll say in almost every corner of the city of Markham. A number of residents asked questions about traffic, gridlock, transportation, road improvements, and transit infrastructure. And everything from happy about some of the things that are out there, when is more coming, and what are we going to do about the gridlock that we face as a community. Now, I'm not going to take a whole lot of time, but I want to summarize in this way. I think you can appreciate that when it comes to transportation, it is actually a multi-jurisdictional, multi-level responsibility. And that is not only a frustration for residents and businesses sometimes, but it's also a frustration for us. I wish we had the ability and some of the revenue tools that we need to advance some of the transportation network that we need out there. But I'll say a couple of things. Where the City of Markham has been in direct control of projects and a process, I'm very proud of the fact that we've been able to advance the road network in our community. Projects like Roddick Road, projects like the Birchmount Bridge, the Birchmount Underpass, the Verdale Bridge that was just opened up, the improvements on Markham Main Street, south of Highway 7, all the way down to the 407. And I also want to say where maybe it was the responsibility of other levels of government to do certain things, that the City of Markham has played a lead role. We have Woodbine Bypass in our community. It's actually been there for a number of years. I can say that if it wasn't for our council and our staff taking a lead role, that road would actually not be built even today in the plan that was forecasted. But because we brought together landowners, because our staff advanced the work, they led the process, we were able to advance that major piece of infrastructure in our community. And so that's one example, along with maybe some of the overpasses that you're currently seeing constructed over the 404, just at 404 and Highway 7. Right at Seneca, you're seeing an overpass between our community and the west side of 404. Again, that overpass and that piece of infrastructure wouldn't be there today had it not been for us taking a leadership role in ensuring that the overpass was there and also the ramp. You can see that construction that's happening when you come off that ramp off the 404 at Highway 7. There will be an extension road that will allow all of those commuters who typically have had to turn onto Highway 7 and clog Highway 7 only to turn left again and go north into that employment area will now be able to go north directly off the ramp. There's projects like Steeles Avenue. A lot of people say, when is the work going to be done on Steeles Avenue? Well, the reality is that Steeles Avenue is in total control of the City of Toronto. Again, though, through our work here and actually through our work at the region, we were able to convince Toronto to work with us and do an environmental assessment. We actually got an environmental assessment approved that will see Steeles Avenue widened to 6 lanes from Highway 48 west to improve that whole interaction between the north side and the south side. That is currently, again, though, in control of the City of Toronto, and they're at about 30% of design of Steeles. And by the beginning of next year, hopefully the design will be completed and we'll be able to go out to tender. And currently, right now, the City of Toronto is undergoing an environmental assessment for the widening and improvements and the grade separation just west of Kennedy Road and Steeles. Again, we're working with them and hopefully trying to advance that project. I also have to say that as a community, and not that I want to dwell on this, but we are paying the price of some past decisions. A number of years ago, the region was conducting environmental assessments in our community to widen McCowan, to widen Kennedy Road, to widen 16th Avenue, to widen Bayview. And at that time, the mayor and council actually asked the region of York to stop that work, knowing full well that we were a community that was going to continue to grow. Never mind the new lands that you heard about in the video. That's the current expansion. We're talking about all the new communities that maybe some of you live in today: Bursey, Wismar, Cornell. So through some efforts at the region, I made it very clear to the region that we needed to initiate those environmental assessment processes again. And now finally that work is being done, because the roads will never be improved if we don't complete the environmental assessment work. We've also, I think, been very strong advocates on the improvement of public transit. As chair of the York Region Rapid Transit Board, and Regional Councillor Jones and I spent a few hours there today, once again, you're seeing the plan and the investment of Viva Transit along Highway 7. And when we first went out with that project, people asked us, what are you doing? Why are you building this bus rapid transit system in the middle of Highway 7? Who is going to wait for a bus in the middle of Highway 7? Well, guess what? We transformed Highway 7. It actually was named the #1 road in North America a few years ago by an industry magazine because of the improvements that we made. And now today we have a bus rapid transit system not only in Markham, but is being extended all the way out to the west end of York Region. And we hope with additional funding, we'll be able to extend it in Markham all the way out to Markham-Stouffville Hospital. This year, we'll be breaking ground on a new transit terminal in a matter of a few weeks, the Cornell Bus Terminal. We're going to break ground there, and again, improving the ability for people to take public transit. Finally, last year, although we've been advocating for decades, finally last year, the city of Markham, a population of now over 360,000 people, finally got all-day GO service to our community, something we've been advocating for decades. And over the next 5 years, through either electrification or other technology, the province will continue to add trains so that we have a train coming in and out of the Unionville GO station every 15 minutes. By doing that, you actually have the capacity of a subway system. So that is going to be happening in our community. And I don't think I need to remind this community, but I will because this question gets asked. We're very strong advocates. We beat the drum. We take every opportunity we can to advance the construction of the Yonge subway all the way up to Highway 7. And so there's been some, I'll say, good news, because the federal and provincial governments collectively have given us $90 million to start the design of the Yonge subway north to Highway 7, but that's just the start of the design. And the recent announcement of $370 million of other money that the federal and provincial government gave is not even enough to cover the total design work that has to happen for the Yonge subway. So we continue to be strong advocates, and just recently I wrote to all 3 party leaders provincially to get them to commit to York Region, to the communities of York Region, that they will start the construction of the Yonge subway all the way up to Highway 7. We can't afford to let another term of provincial government go by without putting a shovel in the ground and getting that system built. And so I could go on about the things that we've done, the improvements that are imminent, but I think some of the traffic and the gridlock that we face is an indication of how prosperous and how successful we've also been as a community. And there's no doubt that we need to improve and increase the commuters that take public transit. Back in 2011, I think we were at about 7% of the ridership was taking public transit. It's been moving up, and we're at about 12% for Markham trips where the public transit is being utilized. But to be quite honest, until we get these major projects completed, until we get 15-minute service on the GO line, until we get the Yonge subway all the way up to Highway 7, it'll be tough for commuters to embrace public transit unless they know they can get from A to B in a fast and reliable way. And we do continue to push, and we do continue to tie road improvements to development approvals. That's something that goes inherently with applications when they come in. And that will be the same with the whole expansion area in the future urban area as well. We can talk about more during the break, if you will, outside. I now want to get to our next question. And we had a few questions on that topic, so that's why I paraphrased. The next question is, hi, Mayor Scarpitti. Many cities in Canada and North America have an iconic or major attraction to showcase. For example, Toronto has the CN Tower, and Vaughan has Canada's Wonderland. In your opinion, what is Markham's major landmark? And if you do not have one, do you have one planned for our great city in the near future? Thank you, Justin. Now, is this who I think it is? Anyway, we'll find out later. But, well, look, I'm not going to shy away from it because I didn't shy away from you too. I think everyone knows I was trying to get a very iconic building and destination here in the city of Markham, a 20,000-seat arena that could have been used for sporting and cultural events. And many of the things that other organizations said was going to happen did happen. And that aside, I can tell you that while we didn't get that, I think we continue. You know, for me, it's not about any one project. It's about the building blocks. It's about adding new things to our community that draws people into our community. So York University, while not built, I think is something that will draw people to our community. Bright minds will come to our community. We also have cultural attractions. The Cathedral of Transfiguration, the time it was built, it was like a $60 to $70 million facility back then. It's about to open its doors. And again, it's a draw. We have the Coptic Cathedral down at Warden and Highway 7. And with the plans that will be happening around that cathedral, with a museum, with some housing, again, will be a draw. The new 5-star hotel, Marriott Hotel, in the middle of our Markham Center. I'm going to stop saying future Markham Center because it's happening. It will be a draw for business and for others to come here. The Angus Glen Golf Course, again, continues to attract events. Our own Markham Pan Am Center. And will we get a big Rouge National Park? Sorry, that was on the list too. Rouge National Park, which we've played a large role. And again, it's getting developed with trails and the ability for people to come from the rest of the GTA and enjoy. And I have to tell you, our restaurants attract people from other parts of North America. People come here. We have the original Peking Duck restaurant that opened up in the city of Markham that people try to get a reservation in there. People are coming from all over the GTA and other parts of southern Ontario and actually other parts of the States to come up. So yeah, you know what, as we continue to work, we have other ideas that people have brought forward, members of council, about what we could attract here that would bring more tourists. We have our historic areas like Main Street Unionville and Markham Main Street, beautiful areas that people can enjoy. And I'll have to tell you, I would say about every 6 to 8 months, people come knocking on our door. And sometimes they fit, and sometimes they don't, and sometimes they're not as prepared. But there is a lot of interest to develop a major facility, whether it's sporting or cultural facility in our community. There isn't a year, but I can tell you about every 6 or 8 months that someone doesn't come knocking on our door and say, would Markham be interested in this? If we can put the right group of people together, would you be interested in this? And I think we'll continue to work at that, but we have a great foundation within our community. Sorry, I got to get to the last question. I think your partnership with First Nations community is a great thing. How do you foresee this partnership evolving in the next 5 to 10 years, and what positive impacts will it have? And that comes from Linda. Well, first of all, when we signed this partnership, one of the things that we said was that we wanted both communities to benefit from this partnership. And I have to say it's an opportunity for us to further the national conversation on reconciliation, an ability to have a positive impact by getting to know each other, reaching out, understanding the challenges that Indigenous communities face. And as you heard, our community has already raised over $100,000, lots of sports equipment that has gone up to Yabatum, and the Zamboni that we were able to donate as well. But as we move forward, and also too, I'm very proud, Catherine Biss just had to step out of the room, but we have already extended to the youth in Yabatum the ability to access our online resources. And there's some challenges with the internet, but that's getting better. But again, that valuable resource is available to the youth in our community. So they face challenges. Young people in that community can only go to grade 9. That's the physical capacity they have for high school. And then they have to leave the community to complete high school. We're hoping through our own network, partnerships, that maybe we might be able to help out with the expansion of their facilities so that kids can actually stay in the community. There's been interests by various parties to sort of be a partner of ours in the partnership with Yabatum to potentially provide more housing in their community. We talk about the lack of housing in the GTA. Let me tell you something. In some of the homes in Yabatum, there's so many people in a household, they actually have to take turns to sleep. There isn't enough homes in there to accommodate the current population. So I'm hoping through best practices, our knowledge as a municipality, a leading municipality, will be able to help them out, at least provide some knowledge and resources to improve their living conditions. But I have always seen this partnership, we talk about social, economic, and cultural. And on the social level, it really was about getting benefits for both communities and the ability for all of us to understand each other. So with that, I'm not going to take questions right now, because if we do that, I know there's about 20 other hands that will go up. But I'm going to be here, our council is going to be here, our senior staff are going to be here. And at this point, I would like to invite up our council to, I think this is why you all came, I'm not sure. There's cake here for everybody. But we're just going to come up, and actually anyone that wishes to, please join this section right over here, because we'd like to take a group shot of everyone that's here. And again, on behalf of our council and our staff, thanks to all of you, because I see a lot of faces in this room that have contributed to the success of Markham. And I know we've got more work to do. I know there's more challenges to face, but I know together we're going to continue to be successful. So thank you very much to all of you.